I'm very sure that the bank is in a position to disclose all the data. My experience is no political party wants reform in the electoral
ये है
system.
सबसे बड़ी बात.
Not enormous amount of black money in our elections. Election spending, election funding, these are the issues. Hidden donations by the donors to a political party. Those in power, they do not want to disclose this data, at least till the elections. A premium bank of this country, and they would have normally immediately enforced the direction of the Supreme Court. A corporate or a business house gives donation to the opposite party, that there might be some backlash from the ruling party. It exclude the black money or this kind of suspect donations from the political funding and make it completely transparent.
नमस्कार, द रेड माइक में आपका स्वागत है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट से एसबीआई को एक बार फिर से सुप्रीम फटकार पड़ी है। वो गए दस्तावेज लेकर के ये बताने के लिए बड़ी दिक्कत होगी, टाइम ज़्यादा दे दीजिए, 30 जून तक समय दे दीजिए। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा नहीं, समय मिलेगा 3 महीने का नहीं, 3 हफ्ते का नहीं, 3 दिन का भी नहीं, कल डेटा आप लेकर के आइए, क्योंकि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है कि देश का नंबर 1 बैंक ये डेटा मुहैया नहीं करा सकता। जस्टिस ए पी शाह, फॉर्मर जस्टिस, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ द दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट, थैंक यू वेरी मच जस्टिस शाह हमें समय देने के लिए। आज जो कोर्ट ने कहा उसके स्पेसिफिक्स में तो नहीं जाएंगे, लेकिन मैं बस आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड के फैसले के बाद ये जो आनाकानी देखने को मिल रही है, इसको आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं?
First, I mean, the Supreme Court's verdict on electoral bond was a historical verdict, I would say, for citizens' right to know, for the transparency in the public life. It's a historical judgment. My perception is that the government was somehow, it's not the initiation maybe from State Bank of India, but those in power, they do not want to disclose this data, at least till the elections. That may have been the reason as to why State Bank of India moved for the extension of time to disclose the data. And I'm very happy and I'm really proud of our court that they rejected this prayer and they called upon the State Bank of India to disclose the data. And this is what the court should be really. This is I would say, they say that the transparency or sunlight is the best way to protect the rule of law and democracy. So I'm very happy that that decision has come, and I'm sure that the bank, I'm very sure that the bank is in a position to disclose all the data, and they will be compelled to disclose the data, and people will know that how the money was funded under the electoral bonds.
जस्टिस शाह, जो एसबीआई था उसने आज जो दलील दी, हरीश साल्वे उनकी तरफ से वकील, उनका ये कहना था कि आपको अगर ये डेटा चाहिए कि कितना पैसा गया और किस पार्टी को गया, वो तो हम दे देंगे, वो हमारे पास डिजिटल में है, लेकिन किसने दिया वो, क्योंकि ये स्कीम बनी ही इसलिए थी कि लोगों को आइडेंटिटी उनकी रिवील ना हो, इस वजह से हमने उस प्रक्रिया को बहुत मुश्किल बना दिया। वो डेटा सील्ड कवर में हमने छुपा करके ऑफलाइन रखा था ताकि कोई मिला ना ले, और इस वजह से इतना टाइम। आपको लगता है कोर्ट ने जब ये दलील नहीं मानी है तो अब एसबीआई झूठा साबित हो जाएगा कल, जब कोई चीज़ जो वो 3 महीने में देना चाहते थे अब उनको कल देनी?
I do not believe that the SBI is not in a position to disclose the names. See, in fact, their stand before when the matter was heard for the interim stay earlier, the stand of the government was that anybody can verify this data. At that time, they say there is no, it's not non-transparent. Anybody can verify the data, and the SBI has the information about the money received and which party received it. I don't think that it's really difficult to identify the donor who donated this particular, made this particular donation.
ये आपका आभास है जस्टिस शाह कि ये एसबीआई की आनाकानी नहीं है, सरकार ही नहीं चाहती है कि ये डेटा आए, क्योंकि एसबीआई एक सरकारी बैंक है?
No, this is my perception, because the elections are forthcoming. Perhaps the idea is to postpone this disclosure till after the election.
Till after the election.
That seems to be the reason. Otherwise, the SBI as a government body, it's a premium bank of this country, and they would have normally immediately enforce the direction of the Supreme Court.
जस्टिस शाह, आपको लगता है कि मैं आपकी राय जानना चाहता हूँ, ये जो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड स्कीम आई थी, ये जब आई थी तो ये बोला गया था कि ये काले धन को और कैश को आपके चुनावी प्रणाली से या इलेक्टोरल प्रोसेस से आउट रखेगी। इसमें जब आर्ग्यू कर रहे थे कपिल सिब्बल, उनका ये कहना था कि इसका नाम तो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड रख दिया है, लेकिन ये जा पार्टीज को रहा है तो उससे पार्टीज कुछ भी कर रही हैं, ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वो चुनाव ही लड़ रही हों, वो कुछ और भी कर सकती हैं, वो पार्टी ऑफिस बना सकती हैं, वो उसको जैसे मर्जी वैसे खर्च कर सकती हैं। तो नाम भले ही इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड था, लेकिन उसका उपयोग किसी भी तरीके से हो रहा था और इस वजह से वो ठीक नहीं।
I mean, there can be no two opinions that there is enormous amount of black money in our elections. Election spending, election funding, these are the issues. But the electoral bond, the way the scheme was envisaged, I don't believe that it was to bring transparency in the funding of the election. On the other hand, the effect was that it was kind of a hidden donations by the donors to a political party. And if you see the data, I mean the majority of the money has
6,500
crores has gone to a particular political party, the party in power. So that's not correct. We need to bring some electoral reforms as far as funding is concerned. And when at the Law Commission, when I was the chairperson and we made the report on electoral reforms, the first thing we said that bring transparency in funding. There is some if the donation is less than 1,000, then the political party is not required to disclose the name.
Yeah.
So every farthing must be accounted for. You bring more transparency instead of bringing this kind of electoral bonds which are completely opaque. We should have a clearly open system where anybody can donate, but that should be completely transparent, which is a need of the hour. I mean, amongst any other reforms which and my experience is no political party wants reform in the electoral.
ये है सबसे बड़ी बात.
Not only the ruling party, but even the other parties. Whenever we conducted the discussions on the electoral reforms, there was hardly any response from the political parties.
अब थोड़ा सा आप, ये मेरा आखिरी सवाल होगा, सिंस आप लॉ कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया में और ख़ास तौर से इलेक्टोरल रिफॉर्म्स पर आपका जोर था, उसमें आपका अनुभव क्या रहा और क्या प्रस्ताव है आपको लगता है? देखिए, रिफॉर्म होना है, फंडिंग जो है वो काले धन में नहीं हो सकती, उसको ढंग से करनी है, ट्रांसपेरेंट तरीके से करनी है, लेकिन एक तर्क ये दिया जाता है कि कोई क्यों पैसा देगा या कोई अपना नाम एसोसिएट करना चाहेगा। आपको लगता है ये आर्ग्यूमेंट फ्लॉड है कि अगर आप पैसा देना चाहते हैं तो देन प्लीज?
No, I don't think that was the idea. You see, you have to change the mindset of the donors. Unless you bring the reforms, and people will donate, openly, publicly. I mean, why there is why the people my guess is that sometimes you are afraid that if a corporate or a business house gives donation to the opposite party, that there might be some backlash from the ruling party.
Use of some agencies.
Use of some agencies. But finally, you have to change the culture. And for that, all political parties, I mean, instead of criticizing the government for introducing, all political parties should agree for a major reform in the electoral system. And basically, it is about the election funding. And lastly, I want to tell you that one thing which really, I believe, which will really change let there be a state funding for the elections.
State funding.
Okay. So every political party gets funding. So it's a level playing field for everyone. So it's not easy to introduce this, but that's one might find it utopian idea of that there could be a state funding.
ये तो कोई भी पार्टी नहीं मानेगी जैसे
they will get the money. So the all level playing field, whether it's a big political party or a small.
सबको एक समान पैसा.
So they will also get the minimum fund to. So the idea is to bring level playing field, and I believe that we should really be, we should be really, that should be our objective, that we completely exclude the black money or the this kind of a suspect donations from the political funding and make it completely transparent.
मतलब कोई प्राइवेट फंडिंग हो ही ना आपके हिसाब
This is the idea, is that there should not be any private funding. All elections, every candidate will be supported by the, that was
The
that
state
idea
exchequer.
of state exchequer. That was the originally. That, of course, I did not propagate this in the law commission report, but this was one of the ideas and suggestions.
क्योंकि इसमें एक बात ये होगी ना, जो पार्टी जिसकी संख्या बड़ी है या कोई पार्टी बहुत छोटी है, अब सबको एक जैसा अगर पैसा मिलेगा तो वो छोटी वाली पार्टी उसको कैसे खर्च करेगी?
No, these are the matters of details. I'm saying that there are various ways in which you can reform the system, but the party should show willingness to adopt reform and bring more transparency, and you must cleanse the system. Today it is terrible. I mean, the way the elections are fought. So the funding is one of the issues, but today it has come to the fore because of this electoral bond issue, and I'm very happy that the court has asserted its position and asked the bank to disclose the details forthwith.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जस्टिस AP शाह आपके विचारों के लिए। पर आप क्या ये मानते हैं कि फुल ट्रांसपेरेंसी के साथ अगर आपको पॉलिटिकल फंडिंग करनी है तो आप फुल ट्रांसपेरेंसी के साथ कर सकते हैं? मतलब फिर आप ये क्लॉज मत ढूंढिए कि मेरा नाम छुप जाए या बच जाए। आपको लगता है
it should be fully transparent? I mean, as I said, it may take time. It's not the reform cannot be brought overnight. But there should be some willingness to change.
पर आपका अनुभव है कि सारे राजनीतिक दल नहीं करना
चाहते। That's my experience.
I think that is the bottom line. ये जो एक्सपीरियंस है जो आपने लॉ कमीशन में महसूस किया है, ये उससे आप बोल रहे हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जस्टिस AP शाह समय देने के लिए। थैंक यू सर।